Hi, I'm Grandpa Dave. Got a special for you and a special guest,
I'm Grandma.
Grandma Jill. We got some stories to tell you about how we became to be Grandpa and Grandma. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Grandpa Dave's Story Time. Remember, I'd give you the best stories, right? Well, this is Valentines, and we're going to give you a story, Valentine's worst story, from how we both met, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, first off, let me set it up. So back in our time, when we were going to high school, I had my car. Friday nights and Saturday nights were really special nights in Cache Valley because it was
Drag Main.
And when we drug Main, we had a good time. Everybody listened to the radio station KRSP, and that wasn't in Cache Valley. That was out of Ogden, I believe. Right?
Salt Lake.
Salt Lake. Okay, that's why she's on, because she's here to make sure I tell the truth. Anyway, I was in my car, my mighty car. I was with a friend of mine, and we were going up and down the street. So the way it worked was pretty simple. You went up to Pete's Spud Nut on one side, and then down on the south end of the valley, we turned around there, which is now, I don't remember, what was that place we turned around? Do you remember?
Pete's Spud Nut.
No, that was the one, but the one on the south end.
Joanne's?
Well, it's Joanne's now, but it wasn't then. Anyway, we go back and forth, and everybody was yelling at everybody. They had their windows open, and everybody's listening to KRSP, so the music was pretty constant for the most part. And I was interested in one thing, I liked my car. I showed off my car, but I was scared to death of females because they scared me But I did like to kind of show off on my car because you can find certain people and race from light to light, things like that. And this particular night, I was with my friend, and his sharp eyes picked up these two girls. Now, the driver, when I looked, kind of like there was this echoing sound of angels singing when I seen it. Do you remember the story of the scooter and in the barn and the light coming through? I was supposed to get that scooter. Well, kind of a similar thing because it was a Datsun B210. It was an ugly green with really weird looking stripes on it.
My car.
Her car. And so, my friend picked it out. Well, I'm scared of girls, and the driver was too cute, and I didn't think she'd want to talk to little old me. And well, one thing led. Did we chase you a little bit, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we chased him a little bit, and then we met up at the mall by the theater.
Yep.
So she was with another friend. Excuse me, I have a little cough. And we just talked and talked and talked and talked. Then we come up with this idea. It was a brilliant idea, I thought, that we were going to race each other. And
He did not come up with the idea. I came up with the idea. My clever mind. I came up with the idea.
I psychically gave her that idea. That we were going to have a race. My car against her car. Okay, my car against a B210. That's kind of like a Ferrari against a wagon. Okay? So, anyway, how we worked it out was that my friend was going to drive her car with her friend in it because he liked her.
Oh, wait. He's leaving out part of the story. So, the winner of the race would have to take the loser out to dinner. No, the loser would have to take the winner out to dinner and to a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Now, when we got to the race, I said, I can't drive this car very well. Why don't you let your friend drive my car and I'll sit in the car with you?
Okay, so obviously she could see raw handsomeness. So we did. We went up into the top road. So there's these field roads into Providence, into River Heights. There's the top one, there's the lower one. So we went to the top one. So we raced. I kicked her butt. And so they had to pick the movie and whatnot. I think I ended up paying, didn't I? Or did you pay?
I don't remember. I think you did.
I think I paid.
Being the gentleman that you are.
Thank you, I'm a gentleman. Where'd we go to dinner?
I don't remember. I just remember the movie that you fell asleep in.
Well, it was a movie called The Turning Point about ballerinas. Wow, what a great day. Anyway, so we did this and whatnot, and we talked for a little bit, and then they went their way, and we went our way.
That was the over. Done.
Yeah, she went her way thinking, that's the last time I see that dude. Turning Point, you fell asleep. And I was smitten by her. I really was. I was smitten. But I was kind of a coward, because, well, she was cute. She's from Logan High School, I'm from Skyview, and, competing schools and stuff like that. Well, I really, really, really wanted to find her because I wanted to ask her out because she was really, I got a real vibe from her, like, I don't know, there's something about her. So all I knew was her last name, and I wasn't sure what her first name was because I couldn't determine between the conversation. So I was asking my friend, so what was her first name? And he's going, well, I think it's this. And, oh, you sure? Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. So back then, there's no cell phones. You just had a phone. You just dial. So I had a general idea where she lived. General. And so I went through the phone book, looking up all the people with her name on it, or her surname. Her last name, that is. Surname, last name. So
He was dedicated.
I looked and I looked and I excuse me, I told you I had a cough. So I found, I think it was the first call. No? Was it the second call? I don't remember. But anyway, evidently I struck gold. Because I asked, is Jill there? Oh, yeah, just a minute. And then she answered the phone and says, hi, this is Dave. Uh-huh.
Who? Who?
Right? Who? The guy in the yellow car.
Who?
How many yellow cars did you date?
I didn't date the yellow cars. I dated you.
Oh, okay. Anyway. Well, so we talked for a little bit, and I asked her out for a date. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not a cheap date. Was I?
No.
I threw everything I had at our dates. It had to be dinner and had to be a movie. Right?
Yep, I was spoiled.
I spoiled you. So here's the first date. Now, to set it up, I had dated a couple girls before, but it was just kind of like, yeah, cooties, that kind of thing.
I dated a lot.
Okay, she was experienced, I wasn't. So she was dating an amateur, and I was dating a veteran. So I pulled up to her house. Now, I know you don't honk, so I went up to the door in a very proper way, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Was it your dad or your mom that answered the door?
I don't know.
I don't recall, but I was scared spitless. But anyway, she came out and she was gorgeous, more gorgeous than I thought she was from before. And she was very nice and held my hand, actually.
See, and I thought that he thought that I was actually my friend, and he just got the wrong person.
I knew I was looking for him. She keeps saying that. She's lying. So we went on our date. I can't even remember where we went to dinner. Wasn't it to Sizzler?
Sizzler.
I took her to Sizzler.
Mm-hmm.
And did we go to a movie? What was
Mm-hmm.
the movie?
I don't remember what the movie was, but we went to probably Star Wars because we went to that like a million times when we were dating.
Well, I like Star Wars. Who doesn't? Right? Who doesn't like Star Wars? Raise your hand. See, no one's raising their hand. So there you go. Anyway, so then we started going for a ride, which is, we did a lot as we were dating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of dating. So my car was a small car, but it was pretty quick. And it had this big thing in front with a stick shift and 2 bucket seats. And we're driving around, and I thought, it's a very nice conversation. I'm enjoying this conversation. So I choose to pull into the Providence graveyard.
I think I gave kind of a hint or two that I was really afraid of cemeteries.
Okay, I may have been stupid. I don't recall that, but
Totally my plan.
it was my idea to go into the cemetery. She's fibbing. And, well, turns out she's deathly afraid, and she jumped over the edge and come in and cuddled into me like this. Now, every sense in my body was going woo, woo, woo. I'd never experienced this before,
Veteran, amateur.
and I was thinking, holy crud, what do I do? It's kind of like when you go fishing and you catch a great white shark on the first cast. And I actually kind of enjoyed that. I kind of liked that a lot. And, well, the dating kind of, we took her home. And I walked her up to the door. And I was thinking probably give her a very gentle handshake and say thank you for going with me on this date. And we evidently ended up kissing. That was the first kiss I ever had. Holy smackaroni, man, I seen stars. I wasn't even sure I could find my way home. Stars, 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 stars.
Veteran, amateur.
Well, I was washed over at that time and became a veteran. I told you I had a cough. So, a series of events happened. And it's her fault. Because she was aggressive and I wasn't. I don't know what she saw in me. I thought I was a skinny little stinker and
Cute.
she thought I was cute. And I still don't understand why you thought that I was going for your girlfriend. You were the driver.
Because I just got confused.
You're better looking than your friend.
Oh.
Well, she was better looking. And still is. Anyway, I digress. So, we started dating. And we were, I would go to work and I was going to school, and this is during the summer, and I'm making money and I'm spending money on her. So after the first date, I had a typewriter from the old shop. It was a little type typewriter. And under the pseudonym of Donald C. Dahl, I sent her a letter. And the letter had a questionnaire in it. I don't recall the questions on it. Do you remember getting that letter?
I do.
You do?
I do remember it.
Oh, okay.
I do remember it.
And what did you think when you got that letter?
I thought it was hilarious. It was a survey of questions of what I thought of the dating. And I asked all these questions.
That was pretty cool.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. Came up with a lot of stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I tried to make things fun for her, mainly because I was trying to hide the idea that I was boring and dull. That's why the
Hence
pseudonym.
Donald C. Dull.
Donald C. Dahl, correct. So my car, I called Little Herman. Little Herman played a role in our relationship as we went along. We drove, put a lot of miles on Little Herman. She told me a story once. We went on a date. And we'd always go on a date. We'd go to dinner, we'd go to the movie, and then go for a long ride. And one of those times we were going up one of the canyons, and there was steam coming off the road. Remember that?
Well, I had told you the scary story about this canyon.
Mm-hmm.
and Witch Hegada, and how before you'd see her, there would be steam across the road. And then you'd see her lantern, and you'd see her Dobermans with their red eyes glaring.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I fed it to him.
I seen them all.
Then we were driving up the canyon, and we saw
Steam.
the steam across the road.
Yeah. Well, you remember, okay, let's revert to my pastimes. I lived with monsters. Remember that. Her story rang true because I lived with monsters. I don't know about her, but I knew what monsters were. So she scared the living crap out of me when she told that story, which meant the car stopped, turned around, and we went back down the canyon.
Veteran.
Very fast, might I add. That was one of those dates. There's one date that stands out more than anything. What would it be?
Oh, it would be the Royal Palace in Salt Lake City.
Okay. So, my parents, my grandma lived in Salt Lake at that time in an apartment. We'd go down there and... excuse me, I told you I had a cough. I said that out 12 times now. So, we'd go see her, and then Dad would take her out. And then he went to this place called the Royal Palace. And I thought it was freaking classy as heaven. I mean, the waiters were like, whoa, waiters. You know, it was kind of like cool. And the food was pretty good, I thought. So, I call her up and I say, hey, I'm going to take you on a special date. And I need you to dress up in church nice. Right?
Mm-hmm. Dress, high heels, the works.
Okay. High heels too, man. She looked cute. Anyway, so before that, I was having some trouble with my car. It just didn't want to start all the time, so I had to, push start it. I knew how to push start because it was a standard, and most of you people nowadays have no idea what the heck I'm talking about. And praise the Lord, we had standard transmissions back then, and we could pop the clutch, because you can't do that with the automatic. You know, when things go dead, you're kind of got to call my son, and he's going to have to come and get you in his tow truck. But that's another story. So anyway, I'd been having a little bit of trouble with it, and I'd done a lot of modifications to this car, and it was a pretty good car. So I went and picked her up, and I had, I believe, about $65 in my pocket. And, that should be enough. We're talking the 70s here, right? I mean, that's a lot of money.
$65 is a lot of money.
I mean, you could think about it, because I could put $5 in my gas tank. I could cruise on Friday, all day Saturday, and go to school for the whole week on that $5, right?
And gas was 52 cents then?
It was pretty cheap. And my car did pretty good on gas, because I was a pretty damn good mechanic with it. Anyway, so I digress again. So I go to pick her up, and she comes out so beautiful, and I was seeing stars again. The car started up, boom, just did great. And we started down the road, and we went across over, going down I-15. And the light was beautiful, and everything was just perfect, and it was gorgeous and wonderful. And we turned off on 6th into Salt Lake onto State Street. Went down, there's the Royal Palace. Found a nice parking spot on the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty close. We didn't have to walk too far to get into the Royal Palace. We went in, and we were met, and we got the royal treatment, didn't we?
Hey, those waiters had on ties.
They did. I mean, you don't see that at McDonald's.
No. It was a nice place.
Heavens, man, this is like not a Mick Hello. It was like, wow. And they showed us a very nice table, I thought, and they gave us this thing called a menu. And I was looking at it, and the numbers were kind of like, holy heaven heck, help me, help me, help me. And she's like modest as heck. Weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to pick something. I don't know. I'm not going to pick nothing. So I'm sitting there going, okay, well, rack of lamb for two, $25. Well, there's two of us. Rack of lamb, $25, $25. I'm
Dinner
still pretty
for
good.
two. Makes sense.
Sounds good. Plus drinks.
Plus drinks. And a dessert.
Well, no, the dessert was extra. Remember
Peaches
that?
flambe.
Peaches flambe Napoleon, which is like really cool because they pour all this stuff that's called alcohol and you start it on fire, and then you get to eat it. And I swear it felt good. I felt really good after I ate it. Anyway, I digress. So anyway, it was a very good meal. Did you like it?
Oh, yeah, it was really good.
Were you impressed?
It was better than fish with raisins in their eyes.
Ooh. But you were
Another
impressed,
story.
right?
Yeah, I was impressed.
So you were thinking you had like the gold ring, right?
Oh, yeah.
Brass ring.
I knew
whatever?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So everything's done. I'm pretty happy. I'm planning on tipping the guy at least $5. I mean, that's a lot. And we got the bill. Rack of lamb for two, $25 each. Didn't say that. It said $25.
We're
Nope.
17. Who knew?
25 each. That's $50. Plus drinks, $4 each. Plus the peaches Napoleon. Now I'm at, like, how much did I say I had? Like $65 or something like that in my wallet. I walked out of there with a couple of dollars.
No
And
tip for the waiter.
We walked out fast because I couldn't afford to tip the waiter.
What's funny is he gets the bill and he's trying to hide from me that it was so much until the beads of sweat were coming down his face. I could tell there was something wrong, and then he was like, very politely, "Oh crap."
You know, there's one question I want to ask about this. Did you have any money on you?
No, I didn't have a dime.
Holy shit. Anyway, that being said, so I'm walking out with a couple of bucks. All right, I'm down to about a quarter tank of gas.
Oh wait, he left out with that we had to escape.
Oh no.
We had to escape from the waiter. So we waited till he was way over there, and we just kind of made our way out the door.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true.
It's true.
We did what we had to do. And this is life or death, right? I didn't want the waiter to kill me for the last $2 or $3, whatever I had in my wallet. I don't remember what I had. So I'm in full panic mode because I've got a quarter tank of gas in my car. And I'm having car trouble. And I'm praying that things work out. Now, when you pop a clutch in a car, that's a skill. Okay? And I thought everybody that could drive a stick shift knew how to do that because she drove a stick shift. So we are going out there, and it's on State Street. Everybody knows State Street. It's busy as heaven. And I said, I go out there, and I put my key in the car, and it goes. Now, Ford's had that little solenoid in there that goes when you turn it. That means it ain't going to start. That means, dude, you're in deep doo-doo. I knew what that was. So I myself had her sit down, and I was going to push said car down the street and start it. Well, no, that didn't. No, I'm out of sequence, aren't I?
You wanted me to pop the clutch.
I wanted her to pop the clutch. I had her sit in as I pushed it. Evidently, she doesn't know how to pop a clutch. So, I have a date that I'm trying to really impress. I have a car that won't start. We're on State Street. The sun is starting to semi-set. She's out there pushing my car because I'm trying to pop the clutch.
High heels.
In high
And a
heels.
dress. Pushing a car.
Yes, that's true. And we tried a couple times, and she screwed up each time. And it worked. She got in the car.
Lucky for him.
I'm driving down there, and there's still sweat. In places there shouldn't be sweat. And I'm thinking, we're not going to get home. There's not enough gas. Now, gas is still cheap. Well, to today's standards. So we're going down. It was about Layton, wasn't it? I had to turn off. I had to turn off at Layton because we were getting close to zero.
Fumes.
We pull into a gas station, and I put in what's left in my wallet then we motate back into the valley, and I drop her off, and she told me how grateful she was for the date.
So polite. High heels, dress, pushing it down the state street.
Well, you married
I
me.
married him anyway.
She married me anyway.
This is interesting.
It was. It was good though.
That was good.
But you remember the long dates that we'd go and we'd pull into the driveway, and your dad would have the porch light on, and we'd sit there in the car, and we'd just kind of like get to like each other, kind of a little kissing and stuff. And it'd start to fog up a little bit, and the light would flash on and off.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep, I do.
Yeah. I just remember that one time your dad came out in his underwear. Oh my goodness, I knew I was going to die right there on the spot. Whoa, baby.
You need to come in.
Yeah. Yeah, that was... Do you know, but the thing is, this is about Valentines, and this is kind of like those Valentine stories. Because our dating, we had a lot of good times. We went to Bear Lake. I took her up to this one place. It was some kind of Trapper's Inn someplace in Wyoming. Remember that date?
That was fun.
Yeah, I about killed 2 people in a van up in Logan Canyon. There's certain things that I could do with that car, and I always wondered what you thought about that.
Let me show you a trick.
Yeah, I had this trick.
Famous last words. Let me show you a trick.
So you get up 35 miles an hour, see, and I had this handbrake right here, emergency brake. And I get up 35 miles an hour, and I hit the emergency brake and swing it, and the car go and go back the other way. What'd you think when I did that?
I thought you were a jerk. Scared the living crap right out of me. I thought we were going to die. I thought we were going to flip the car 4 times. It was going to burst into flames, and we were going to die.
Well, it was a Pinto.
It was a Pinto. I thought we were going to die.
But it was a fast Pinto.
Die. I thought we were going to die.
Hey, first, I got to tell them this. First off, Little Herman was not your average Pinto. Little Herman has a couple of Camaros that he showed down from light to light in Logan. So...
Somebody hopped it up, in other words.
Well, we're not going to talk about that. But it was a Pinto. It was a 4-cylinder Pinto, and it kicked their bum. Do you remember the ride down in Logan Canyon when we were trying to hit about 100 and stuff? How'd you feel about that?
I thought you were a jerk.
And
Scared me to death. I thought we were going to die.
The
car was going to flip over and burst into flames. We were going to die.
But you married me.
No, I still married him.
See, when you're smitten, you're smitten. Now, we're going to come close to the end of this little love affair, but there's several things, things like drive-in movies.
Mm-hmm. Those were fun.
We love the drive-in movies.
Movies.
Yeah, I remember that. Get you to it. The
Star
Manitou.
Wars.
Manitou.
And Manitou. Get you Manitou.
Wasn't that a double feature?
Probably, but we
so.
still watched Star Wars.
How much of it did we
like
see?
50 times. Every time we went on a date. Movie. Let's go to Star Wars. What?
I wasn't always there. At least it wasn't the turning point. Did you ever fall asleep at my movies?
I plead the 5th. He wasn't watching.
Oh, I was watching.
Okay, maybe neither one of us were watching.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I'm going to make very clear, was it on our 3rd date I proposed to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I did. You know why?
Let's get married. 3rd date.
I've always been good at seeing who people are. I've always been, you got to admit,
All your kids will attest to that.
I've always
with the
been
people that they dated.
I've been really good at determining if somebody is one thing or other. And I saw her as like the angels. It's kind of like, we got to go back to that scooter story, okay? The red scooter. She's my red scooter. I went and got her. I asked for it. I says, "Marry me, babe." And she said, "Okay."
Okay. Why not?
Kind of like she didn't think I was serious. But, whoa, I was serious. Wasn't I?
Yeah, you were serious. We went and got a ring about a week later.
Zell's.
And I kept telling my mom, Mom, it's just a promise ring. It's just a promise ring. So he bought me an engagement ring. I came home and I showed my mom. My finger has got a permanent bend in it from her ripping my finger apart.
Well, it was a good ring.
It was a good ring.
It was my first contract payment. I had like excellent credit. I think it was a $700 ring, I believe.
I don't know. You bought it.
Well, it was an expensive ring, which someone stole later, by the way. Whoever you are, I will find you. I have a particular set of skills. I will find you, and I will kill you. Anyway, we had a good time dating. I mean, we had a great time. There's this one time, I remember.
This makes me nervous. I have no idea what he's going to come up with, what he's going to say. So I'm just listening.
I don't go on a script. It comes out of my head. But I enjoyed this, by the way. So, my dad, when he had this new equipment coming in, and he had this guy come in out of state to help him put it together. And the guy had nowhere to go, and Dad had this party, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And did a little barbecue type thing, whatnot. And one of the things my family liked to do is we liked to play volleyball. And, of course, I had her on my side of the team, and he was over there. Oh, actually, he was on our side, wasn't he?
He was on our side.
He was on our side. He gave you a name.
Roots.
Roots.
I didn't move.
Yeah.
He
The ball comes over to you, watch it goes, hey, Roots, go get the ball.
I never professed to be a volleyball player. Not one of my talents. I have many, but not one of them.
Well, I didn't marry her for athletic ability.
Roots. Jerk.
Roots? Yeah, that was a pretty good time. There's a lot of dates and a lot of fun. We had a good time together. And I think I spent $10,000 to win her over. But eventually,
Veteran.
Of course we're best friends.
I said veteran.
Oh. Actually, I caught up quick. I knew what I was doing after a bit. I figured her out. I did. Except for that one time. Okay, we're cruising the street. Okay, it's one of those dates we're cruising the road, and we go into Pete's, and she tells me to stop, and she wanted to meet this guy. So I'm embarrassing her. Veteran. Had to meet her old boyfriend. The competition. No competition. The guy had arms like that big. Yeah, well, anyway, we had a good time dating. A great time dating, and of course, we had a great time being husband and wife. Do you remember our wedding?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, November 9th. Woo. Happened to be one of the biggest snowstorms in the valley.
1978. Look it up.
Yeah. It was a big one. I was going to go to Jackson Hole. We had some money. We were going to go to Jackson Hole and have a good time. I tried getting out of the valley. Yeah, it was a good wedding, except for the morning section behind.
Okay, let me explain. So I was very young. Getting married.
12 is old? Young?
I dropped out of high school. My mom and dad didn't necessarily approve of our wedding. They wanted us to wait, but we wanted to get married. So when we were being married by his brother, all I remember is sobbing and crying in the far back section. Somebody was not happy with us getting married. So then after, when everybody came up and congratulated us on our wedding, on our marriage,
Mm.
There was a few particular relatives that shook his hand and said, "Gosh, I hope we can learn to love you." That was my husband. Yeah. Sorry.
That stuck.
It was a nice wedding though. It was good dinner.
Hey,
Nice cake.
we're 80 years into marriage yet.
I'm not that old. 45 years and counting.
Is it 45?
5 beautiful children. Lots and lots of beautiful grandchildren.
They're not all
We love
beautiful.
every one of them. They take after me. They are beautiful.
Anyway, I tell the truth. I love you all anyway. Anyway, so this is our not Halloween. It's not Halloween.
Or Valentines.
Oh, it's our Valentines. I lose track. Did we just do Christmas? I'm trying to be funny for all that kind of want to know that.
No, he
is.
actually meant Halloween and they got caught in the lie, and so now he feels dumb. So now he's got to backtrack and say Valentine's.
That doesn't feel dumb. Anyway, we hope you all have a great Valentine, and we'll kiss your Valentine like this.
He's got a cold. I don't want to. Now I'm going to get a cold.
It's okay, she already has it. She's been doing coldies. You didn't see it, but she's doing coldies. And I've been sipping some whiskey there because I got a cough. So anyway, we love all of you, and thank you for watching these videos. And she thanks you for watching my videos because my ego's gone up about half a point.
Big head. Trust me. We love each other. We love you guys. And we love our grandchildren. You guys are the light of our life.
Well, anyway, autographs are still 25 bucks. Photographs are still 75. If you want a photograph with an autograph, it's 150. Thank you for watching. Later. Grandpa Dave with a little bit of wisdom. As you can see, I have my alter ego here, the person that could end my life at any moment. I want to give you a little bit of wisdom that you really need to take care of. Now, you want to have this kind of a relationship with your wife. See? She's happy and I'm happy. Be careful what you give her. Now, I remember this one time, I was really excited because the company I worked for was throwing a bunch of stuff away. And they threw these most beautiful picture frames away. I think they were gorgeous. So I picked one up and I got one of her beautiful photos. And I put it in it. And I so carefully wrapped it. I wasn't thinking, but I knew it was pretty. And I gave it to her in a special moment. It was beautiful. The stars were shining, the moon was coming through, the angels were singing. And she opened it. And she looked at it. And she looked at me. Then she threw it at me. When I come to an hour later, I realized that the frame said Employee of the Month. Be careful what you give your alter ego, your special other. Enjoy life. Grandpa Dave out.
Izzy, go away.
Sorry, I had to pick my nose.